Hold on, guys. Going to be with you guys in just a second. I know that you guys are coming in on YouTube, and going to be with you guys in just a second. A lot of things transpired today in the NFL, and we have a lot of storylines to get to. So I'm definitely going to try to get to the storylines as soon as I can. And everybody just hang tight. Everybody hang tight. Alrighty, guys, we're officially live on both Periscope and on YouTube, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about my thoughts about this game, about a lot of games in the NFL. I'm going to answer some of your questions on YouTube as well. Hope you guys enjoyed on Periscope. Hope you guys log in on Periscope. I'm hearing not good things about the Carson Wentz injury. Just kind of an update so far on the situation is I'm hearing not really good things, unfortunately, about Carson Wentz. Really disappointing because, if Carson Wentz is hurt, that's obviously going to affect the way that the divisions will play out and how everything will kind of transpire. But we're going to bounce all around the NFL today, not just talk about the Rams game, but talk about a lot of different things. And yeah, it's terrible, man. I know that Webster got hurt. Aaron Rodgers and Carson Wentz going down in the same year is really awful. So today's games, pretty much that happened. We have the Jets losing to the Broncos, Jets sucking, as I predicted. Todd Bowles, really crappy performance by Todd and the entire Jets organization. They sucked today. They played a really, really bad football game. So Todd Bowles, really, really shitty. And then we had the Titans. The Titans losing to the Cardinals, and the Jaguars. Blake Bortles actually playing his balls off today versus the Seattle Seahawks. I was really surprised. If you told me before today that Russell Wilson and the Seahawks would put up 24 points, I would have thought it'd be crazy for Jacksonville to convert 30 on him. Blake Bortles looked really competent. He played his best game of the year. If you get that Blake Bortles, the Jags are going to host a playoff game, and they're freaking going to win one. So I'll tell you who will be playing the Jacksonville Jaguars in the first playoff game. We're going to have the Baltimore Ravens or the LA Chargers. And the way it's looking right now, I think it is going to be they're going to get the third seed in the AFC. Because, we have the Chiefs are going to get the 4 seed. And then I'm looking at, I think it'll be LA 5 and Baltimore 6. So you have Baltimore going to Jacksonville. That'll be a dogfight. I think Baltimore is a very dangerous playoff team. I think Baltimore has a really nice defense. That's going to be a tougher matchup. If I was Jacksonville, I'd be hoping that you would draw actually the LA Chargers and Phillip Rivers. Now, you can look at just Rivers, but the Chargers don't have a great defense. I know that their defense is playing better. They have defensive talent. But I don't see the Chargers going on the road and winning a playoff game. I just don't. I see really the I see the Ravens having a much better chance of doing that. A good performance by the Chargers today, though, this afternoon. And Chargers went on the win today. Crazy storylines, though, in the NFL. I thought the Vikings shat the bed. I thought the Minnesota Vikings were the better team today. Case Keenum and Adam Thielen couldn't convert. They made Case Keenum one-dimensional today. I thought Keenum played well under the circumstances. They had that interception where Stephon Diggs dropped that screen pass. They just yacked all over themselves, and they still had a position. They still had a first and goal with 4 minutes left to go out there and try to win the football game, and they just didn't do it. Give credit to Carolina for bending and not breaking, although I'm not a believer in that Panthers defense, and Cam Newton made some unbelievable plays today. That's why Cam Newton is truly a difference maker. When you look at the NFC, Carolina is now a lot more dangerous. I think that the Panthers are more dangerous now because if Carson Wentz is out, Cam Newton on the road. Now, I don't love their defense. Their front four can stop the run, but they don't get after the passer quite well enough. So I think Carolina could be sneaky dangerous. We saw Seattle lose today, which is shocking. So now Seattle's on the outside looking in. Dallas won today, and so did the Green Bay Packers. But right now in the wild card, we have Atlanta, and then we have Atlanta and Carolina, so we could get 3 teams in from the South, except we're going to see some carnage in that division, though. They're going to play each other. So I have the Saints winning that division, and that's going to be pretty interesting. So here, I'm going to go ahead and look at the scores from today, run through the scores, and then we're going to do a little bit of standings. If Carson Wentz is hurt, is there a chance that Nick Foles can still win the NFC? There is going to be a chance because the Eagles are going to finish the year, even with Nick Foles. They play the Giants, they play the Oakland Raiders, who suck. Oakland sucks. Derek Carr can't play on the road. He is overrated. He's not very good. And, he was good for about a year, but his arm strength is limited. He's going to kind of turn out not as quite as bad as his brother, but I'm not a Carr believer anymore, put it that way. I'm done with Derek Carr. And so this is what's going to happen, okay? So in the NFC, so running for the games first off, the Jacksonville game, I'm going to go back and watch. I mean, I'm just freaking astounded that Blake Bortles was able to put up 30 points on Seattle. I mean, D.D. Westbrook had a huge game. This guy Cole had a big play. That's a game that I'm really going to go back and watch. Jimmy G and Kyle Shanahan. Jimmy G's a baller, man. I think he had the most yardage in the entire league today. Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy G and the Niners are going to put the Titans out of their misery next week. The defense played really well. So Jimmy G is a stud. Even though Derek Carr got hurt, Marcos, I still think that Carson Wentz is a guy that's going to be I think he's going to be great for a long, long time. I do. I think that he has all the tangible, all the intangibles and all the talent to really be tremendous. It's really tough to see a guy of Carson's character go down. And also in the NFC, you want to see, the Eagles at full strength. You never root for injuries. And it's a really rough situation here that we kind of have going on with Carson Wentz. Why do you think C.J. Beathard's going to play out the year? Because of the defensive line? I don't think so at all, Norm. I mean, I thought C.J., I know Jimmy held on to it a couple of times, but you're saying, Norman, because they might lose Really? Why would that be? Jimmy G has so much momentum. That would be the dumbest thing. I mean, you're just picking up wins. So, heck no. That would be one of the catastrophic, dumbest things to do. And, listen, I know that Josh Rosen, Allen, and Darnold, I mean, you got to pick up wins. You got to get Kyle Shanahan some momentum. You got to let Jimmy G keep rocking. The team's rocking. They will beat the Titans if Jimmy G plays, though. I truly believe that. We're here on YouTube. Go to Rover Sports right now. Enter in your questions on YouTube. Want to thank Norman and Marcos for hopping in. A lot of you guys going to hop in and watch this live stream. And right now I'm going to go through the games real quick, and then we're going to look at the NFC. We had the Falcons with a nice win. How about the Cleveland Browns, right? Can the Browns just can't get a freaking win to save their damn life. Sean's Beard, how are you, man? Thanks for popping into the podcast. Appreciate it, man. You're hopping in on the burner account. Yeah, Marcos, it's a horrible situation because these Philadelphia Eagles really look like a team that were really the favorites in the NFC, the way that they won. Now, Nick Foles isn't awful. He's not like Connor Cook, so that's quite a distinction. Nick Foles, could he be like a Jeff Hostetler? And the Eagles, they are going to be playing home games, and Nick Foles is a suitable guy. He can start for some teams, especially the way he played today. He has a decent skill set. He's like a mid-round guy, but he's just not to the level of a Carson Wentz. And if he meets an elite defense in the playoffs, then he's going to fold. So the odds of the Eagles winning a championship now severely drop when the MVP of that team goes out. And also Doug Peterson refuses to run the football. I mean, if you watch that game took like 5 damn hours because Doug Peterson is playing like he is Chip Kelly. It reminded me back to Chip Kelly, the way that Doug called that game, and he just sends Carson back time after time to throw the football. Anyway, Lions get a win, but the Lions are out, so who gives a crap? The Marvin Lewis is totally dead. Marvin Lewis is fired, and I mean, wow. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm on the computer now, Norman. I'm gonna look that up. I'm shocked. Norman Vasquez commenting into the live stream that the Niners are going to start C.J. Beathard. I mean, I don't know why. Luckily, I'm not seeing that, though. So, hopefully. Yeah, it really is, Marcus. I completely agree. Because Ajay was killing it today. Jay Ajay was absolutely killing it. I think the Kansas City Chiefs are freaking back guys hopping around the NFL. They freaking whipped ass today on the Oakland Raiders. So congrats to Kansas City. I think Kansas City, they play LA next week at night. That is going to be a freaking doozy. I think the Chiefs are back. Big win today for Chicago Bears. They end Marvin Lewis's coaching career today. The New York Jets and Todd Bowles sucking today. I wasn't surprised at all. The Jets are a pulseless franchise, a heartless franchise, and they refuse to play Bryce Petty, and now Bryce Petty, because of injury, he's going to get into the game. The Jets are a freaking train wreck. They're a mess. The Browns are worse than the Jets because the Browns are like... The Browns can't get a win if they were playing like a 50-year-old Kyle Orton. They'll never learn how to win one game. I think Johnny Manziel's the last quarterback to win. They haven't won in like 15 years. They haven't won a regular season game. They should get relegated from the NFL. But the New York Jets are a franchise that every single year they win games like they're not supposed to win, and then when they play dog shit opponents on the road with a decent team, like a 6-win team, they end up getting smashed 23-0 today to the Denver Broncos. Just unbelievable. Bills find a way to win today in the snowball. What a crazy game. Eli Manning looked really old today. I'm the biggest Eli Manning fan in the world, hence I'm wearing a Giants shirt right now. And boy, oh boy, the team is so many injuries, it's insane. So I'm going to run through the NFL standings right now. I'll tell you guys kind of where people are standing. I think that the Saints are going to end up winning the Saints are going to end up winning the Saints are going to end up winning the South. So Rams 9-4. I think the Seattle and the Rams play again. Holy crap! That actually Could the Rams miss out on the playoffs? Here we go. So the Rams-Seahawks game next week, that game is going to be absolutely incredible. Then the Rams go to the Titans, they should win, and then the Rams go to the Niners. So that means that the Rams would finish at 11-5 and probably get a wild card slot. You look at Seattle, the rest of Seattle's schedule, and Seattle, wow. So that next week is going to be absolutely freaking incredible. I welcome in everybody to the podcast. Everybody can come on into the podcast. The NFC wildcard race is just completely absurd. In the AFC, we know it's going to be Baltimore, and we know it's going to be the Chargers. I don't think the Bills really have any chance. The Titans, I think the Titans are dead. I think that the Titans will lose next week. So just a really crazy NFL Sunday today. And Carolina today, Cam Newton made so many plays. Beating down the mighty Minnesota Vikings, and it wasn't Case Keenum's fault. A huge run today. Jonathan Stewart's now back. It adds a different dimension to their team. Their defense still definitely looks susceptible. There were so many drops today from Minnesota, from Kyle Rudolph to all these other guys, and it really just looked like the Vikings were just going to go on there and win the game. It's a nice win for Carolina, but do I believe in Carolina's defense? I'm not quite sure I do. Rams with a freaking tough loss today. And anyway, guys, I'm going to be doing this maybe 5 more minutes here. We have a lot of people hopping in right now on YouTube. Really appreciate you guys chilling. I'm going to go see if there are any Periscope questions, and I'm also going to be doing some film reviews as well. A lot of people commenting in to the podcast. A lot of people here retweeting the link. I really appreciate y'all popping in. Let's see what you guys are saying here on Periscope. Gonna load my Periscope act. Hey, what's up, Manny? How are you? You're an Oakland guy. Yeah, I'm not sure I believe in Derek Carr. I think that you guys caught the Chiefs on a bad day. I still kind of believe in Kansas City, and I'm just worried about Derek Carr, honestly. he can't throw the ball in cold weather. And Lynch had an okay game, but this team is just really... This Oakland team, man, is just really kind of... I think last year was kind of an anomaly for the Oakland Raiders. Carson Wentz was a warrior today, and he's been a warrior the entire season. So, the way that he threw that touchdown, it's really, really sad to see the guy go down. Even as a Giants fan, I have nothing but respect for Carson Wentz. Of course, as a Giant fan, you want the Eagles to lose games, but Carson is a class personified. He's a tremendous, tremendous player. So we have a lot of people popping in. Any questions about the NFL? The Oakland Raiders. Yeah, man, it is wild. The Oakland Raiders and their turnaround. I definitely have serious doubts, though, about Derek Carr and that offense. Khalil Mack still made plays. Jack Del Rio is kind of, floating right now. The program's not trending upward. It's not trending downward either. So yeah, we have 8 people watching now on YouTube. You guys are tremendous. Go ahead and watch the Sports Fury tonight. Fire Musgrave, the defensive coordinator of the Oakland Raiders. Maybe not a bad decision. I thought that the Niners looked really good. I think the Niners are on the rise. I still think Todd Gurley was outstanding today in the game. So, yeah, Marcus, the thing though about Carson Wentz, and yeah, he's the OC. Okay. I might have to go back and watch some of that Raiders game because that was kind of in the side, and it just seemed like they're doing a lot of short passing game. A lot of short passes, not really pounding the rock. I could do a film study on Wentz, Marcus, but it's just going to be me drooling over Carson Wentz. And it might not even be that interesting because, a lot of people have done that before, and it might be like, oh, Carson makes an incredible play here. Oh, Carson does this that is not even humanly possible. I think it's sometimes interesting to do one on quarterbacks that they're not sure if they're any good or not, like Deshaun Watson, like Mariota, like certain rookies out there in the NFL. So, Cleveland, what a shit show today. What a shit show. I thought Mitch Trubisky played well today. I mean, a lot of rookies stepping up and playing well. Some breaking news, too, is that Bryce Petty, my man Jet Central, Bryce Petty's going to be playing against the New Orleans Saints next week, I think. That's going to be interesting to see Bryce Petty go out there and compete. And also, Steve Spagnuolo, he's not going to be the coach of the Giants because they sucked today on defense. They were a freaking joke late in that game. I mean, it looked like middle school guys out there trying to guard against Des Bryant. I mean, he would break a tackle, he would shed a tackle, and he would go like 80 yards unimpeded to the end zone. So Spagnuolo has no chance at all. And I also hear the Giants are thinking of hiring Dave Gettleman. And Gettleman was a guy in Carolina that the players hated. So you now had a head coach that the players hate, and now you're going to get a general manager that Josh Norman and all the Carolina Panthers hated. So I'm not really digging that too much. I want a guy who can actually relate to other people. You know what I mean? How you doing there? How you doing there on Periscope, on YouTube Live? You guys are absolutely awesome. Going to do a film review on Jimmy G. And we'll see. It's true. The AFC, the Raiders do have a chance in the AFC. Let me look at your guys' next games. Carlos Hyde today, good question. He had a play that was just really bad where he kind of ran a deep ball. But Carlos Hyde's a guy that the guys love in the locker room. He actually ran it really hard today, him and Matt Breida. So, I don't know. Yeah, now we're doing the coaches that are going to get fired. Lewis is gone. Pagano is gone. John Fox. So we're at 3. Dirk Cutter of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is gone. Jim Caldwell could be gone, but I don't think he'll be gone. Todd Bowles might be gone. Vance Joseph might be gone. Vance Joseph today had a game that saved his career. Because he's in his first season there, he can't develop quarterback play, Vance Joseph, and that's what Denver is going to need. They're going to need to draft a quarterback like a Josh Allen or a Baker Mayfield because that's what they're missing from that franchise. And John Elway's kind of on thin ice too. He needs to get this shit in order, John Elway and the Denver Broncos. So going down the list of the other NFL teams, I mean, Hugh Jackson, it's pretty crazy that Hugh Jackson already got extended for another year. I mean, what the hell? I mean, guy hasn't won in like 20 months and he's still getting another job. It's unfreaking believable, isn't it? Hugh Jackson. He's freaking awful. They were up 14 today, and they find a way to choke to Brett freaking Hundley. Unbelievable. In the NFC, could Aaron Rodgers come back now? Could A-Rod sneak back into the mix? We don't know. Could Aaron the Badman Rodgers show up? Could Aaron Rodgers come back? I think it's just too late. I agree. Marcos, I agree. You look at the Eagles right now, DeFilippo, Frank Reich, they're probably going to get options. I like McVay and Goff. I like Shanahan and Garoppolo. Peterson and Carson Wentz have very bright futures. So it is kind of about getting a young offensive coordinator in there, and that's why for the Jets, I don't know what they're doing hanging around with Todd Bowles. I mean, Todd Bowles is a nice guy, but is Todd Bowles really going to help mentor the next great quarterback prospect? Yeah, I'm excited, man. I mean, Trubisky had a very efficient day today. I mean, Trubisky, his strengths is that he's very efficient, accurate. And now could Trubisky throw the long ball? We'll have to see. But today he looked like he really belonged in the NFL. So, that's a pretty good comment right there. You guys are great. I should do these live streams more often with you guys as you guys keep on popping into the podcast. You guys are absolutely tremendous. Oh my God, I just got a text that was a joke about something that scared me pretty good. So, alrighty. Pretty crazy day in the NFL. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and actually look at that Trubisky film. I think that might be a good film review to do. Finally, we get away from the Chicago Bears practice field, right? And because at the Chicago Bears Stadium, it's really tough to see the film review. So I think that I might do a Mitchell Trubisky. But yeah, I thought the NFL was pretty damn good today. Blake Bortles out of nowhere. That's the craziest one. Could Blaine Gabbert stay another year? I think Blaine Gabbert might actually have a chance to start for the Arizona Cardinals, actually, as crazy as that seems, especially if they win a couple of games towards the end. Yeah, good point. That's so funny. When Jeff Fisher's the head coach, careers go to die. And the one thing is about Nick Foles is that the one thing that really holds Foles back is that Nick Foles is kind of like a little bit like Tom Savage in that his feet are so damn slow and he holds the ball too long and takes too many sacks. But if he plays confidently, I mean, the guy, if he's just throwing like at a pro day, the guy can make things happen. And you look at these other quarterbacks, Case Keenum is okay. Matt Ryan on the road isn't going to be that good. Drew Brees on the road is going to be good. Cam Newton on the road is probably going to be pretty good. So if I had to look at the NFC right now, I still like the Saints. I like the Saints right now. They're probably the front runner to win. Seattle. If Seattle can go home and beat the Rams, Seattle's going to have a great chance of actually doing some serious damage. The Seattle Seahawks. Because Russell Wilson is a magician. And Russell Wilson is next level. And that game next week, that's going to be freaking next level. Rams, pissed off after a loss, going to Seattle. That's the slugfest of all slugfests. And then the Panthers-Falcons, I still think that these teams have to play against. So the whole NFC South, that's the best division in the whole NFL. It's going to be great. I mean, the Falcons play the Saints, and then the Panthers play the Falcons. These two games are going to get flexed, and that's what's going to decide the the wild card. And then, now with Carson Wentz hurt, and with Nick Foles in, the playing field of the NFC is really kind of similar. Everybody's kind of on the same playing field. I thought like if Carson Wentz was healthy that the Eagles would probably take this, but now the Vikings lose, and it's just incredibly competitive. Yeah, it did look bad. Reports are, Oprah, that it looks like a torn ACL and he might be out for the season. So yeah. Interesting question, guys, is should Eli Manning play next weekend? As much as I love Eli Manning, he looks old out there, and it's going to be hard. He does look really old. The offense looks kind of lifeless out there, and it looks like Eli probably only has one more year left in the NFL. He just looks like a guy that's really banged up, and the years have started to weigh on him. And trust me, I'm one of the biggest Eli fans out there. And, if they started Webb next week, I don't know, man. Definitely. I think that the Niners, even though they're playing against the Rams and the Seahawks, which sucks, if you put the Niners in, the East or the North, because I think Jimmy G is a special player, so I think they could be above a 500 team next year. Robert Saleh gets another year to work with guys like Thomas, like Buckner, Reuben Foster. They have a talented defense, and if they get Minkah Fitzpatrick, which I think would be great, You can pair a great cornerback. And I think then the Niners absolutely, I think they could be 10-6, 11-5. I think that the Vikings today, Marcos, I think that the Vikings, they just couldn't run the football today against Carolina's front. And I still thought Keenum actually played well. I just think that the Vikings just on the road a damn long time. They've been winning so long that they just had a letdown game. And they're kind of like, oh man, can we still win when we're not playing at our best? And to give the Vikings credit, I mean, the way they got that interception, the way that they competed all day long, they're a pretty good team. It definitely concerns me, and this is going to sound weird, but it concerns me that the Vikings have to host a Super Bowl. So it concerns me that the Eagles are going, or not the Eagles, what was I thinking? It concerns me that the Vikings are hosting a Super Bowl because I've never seen anything like that in my life. The Vikings actually, winning games, at their own stadium. We have a couple of questions here on Periscope. Thanks for hopping in. Trade Eli to the Buffalo Bills. I think Eli Manning after today, Blake Bortles, the way that he played today, that's the craziest thing is that if Blake wins a playoff game, Jacksonville's out of a market for a quarterback. But the Bills certainly need one. Tyrod and Peterman, yeah, they need a quarterback. Shady McCoy again in the snow. So, yeah, it would just be absurd for the Vikings to win it. I honestly probably see the Saints and Seattle and maybe Carolina. And could the Rams – it really depends because I've never seen Matt Ryan play well outside of that damn stadium. And he didn't even look that good last week. Now, I know they have Coleman and Freeman. Can that pass rush – of guys like that Claiborne guy, Vic Beasley, Grady Jarrett, can that defense with Dan Quinn turn up and win some damn games on the road? We're going to find out a lot, in these next 3 weeks. So the NFL, for all the shit it takes, it's really a competitive field all around this year. And in the AFC, I really still do believe in the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that the Kansas City Chiefs can win their division. They're going to win next Saturday, and I think that they're going to go to Pittsburgh or New England, and they're going to shock somebody in the postseason. I do. Alex Smith is coming on. The Chiefs are getting hot at the right time. That Chargers-Chiefs game will be phenomenal. Kansas City is dangerous. Okay, they are hitting their stride right now. Everybody needs to ignore the past 3 weeks of Kansas City sucking, and they need to pay attention to the Kansas City Chiefs right now because they are coming. They are coming. Jacksonville's going to win the AFC Championship. I don't know about that. Great win, though, for the Eagles. Good job for them getting the win today against the Rams in a game that felt like it was 5 hours. It was an entertaining game. Todd Gurley is fantastic. So a really big win for the Eagles today, as it pains me to say it. And Giants are just so injuries now, just tons and tons of injuries. I don't think the Ravens need a quarterback, though, but Buffalo needs one. The Browns, actually, DeShone Kizer, I don't think you need a quarterback in Cleveland either. The Jets, you have to see what you need with Bryce Petty, Blaine Gabbert. So Cardinals are going to draft somebody like a Drew Lock or something. And then the Denver Broncos, yeah, that's a good point. I'll tell you why people hate Alex Smith, and I've gone back and forth on this. Because Alex Smith is not an exciting guy to watch. People hate Alex Smith because he doesn't push the ball down the field. He's inconsistent. He plays like a wussy sometimes, to put it in PG terms. And he doesn't take chances down the field, and he shrinks in big moments. He shrunk against the Giants in 2011, and he shrunk against the Steelers last year in the playoffs. So that's why people hate on Alex. He doesn't take chances, and he doesn't step up and he doesn't play with big balls a lot. He doesn't, he doesn't make the big time play. He's not ballsy, kind of plays bitchy. So that's it about Alex. But the thing about Alex is when the offense is rolling, when he airs it out, he's actually pretty damn good. And this defense is going to be great. So, Marcos, you probably are an Eagles fan. I think that Andy Reid, usually Andy Reid peaks too early, and this is like the most anti-Andy Reid season ever. That's why I think the Chiefs can catch lightning in a bottle, because I've seen the New York Giants, I've seen my team go on these runs, and Kansas City is just kind of hanging in the background. Everybody's writing them off. They lose to the Jets, they lose to the Giants. Everybody's saying the Chiefs suck. They beat the Raiders. Everybody's shutting up. No one's giving them any credit. And then Saturday night's going to come next week. They're going to drill Kansas. They're going to drill the LA Chargers, and they are just going to roll from here on out. And they're going to roll right into Pittsburgh or New England, and their defense is going to come to play, and shit's going to go down in the AFC. Everybody in the free world thinks it's Steelers Patriots, and somebody is going to come in there and shock somebody, whether it's the Ravens or whether it's the Chiefs. Alrighty, guys. I'll go back. I'll watch some Bortles tape for you. Might do a Bortles film review. Really appreciate you guys all checking out the live stream. The numbers today were incredible. Might hang out with my guy Jet Central next week. Try to do some remote live episodes where I'm not just talking the whole time. I'll have somebody else to also be communicating with. And listen, you guys were amazing. Go back and look at this podcast. Really sad and tough injury to Carson Wentz. That's probably going to overshadow the day. And the NFC is just freaking wild. So, alrighty, guys, have a great rest of your Sundays. Enjoy the game tonight in Pittsburgh, and we'll see y'all soon.